Hello everyone, it's Dale here. Welcome to this video where I'll show you the best volume profile levels to trade this week. We are going to take a look at the Canadian dollar, the British pound and the Japanese yen, and let's take a look at it. So what you see before you, this is the US dollar Canadian dollar chart. It is the NinjaTrader 8 platform with my custom-made volume profile and VWAP indicators, and this chart is a 30-minute chart of the US dollar Canadian dollar. And what I want to show you here is a setup that I trade when there's a trend like this strong downtrend that formed on Friday. When there's a trend, then I like to use the volume profile like this to look for significant volume clusters that formed along the way. Such a volume cluster was this one, and then there was this one. The lower one, this one, already got spent because there was a reaction to it. As you can see, I had this level here on my chart at 1.3833. Posted that in the members area yesterday for the members to trade that alongside me. Anyways, there was a little pullback and boom, reaction to that. So this is how it is supposed to look like. This level is already spent because the price already made that pullback to that level, but there's also that second volume cluster above it, and I hope for a similar reaction. So if there's a pullback to that level, which is at 1.3858, then there's a chance that there'll be a reaction because the sellers who are pushing the price downwards in this downtrend, those guys were adding to their short positions in here, and they should defend this place, right? Because it appears that this is important level for them. So when the price hits this level, the beginning of that heavy volume zone, there should be a reaction. By the way, there was also another thing that adds strength to that level, not just that volume cluster, but also a fair value gap in here, highlighted in red. And in a short trade scenario, I like to trade from the beginning of the fair value gap, which is in here. All right, so it is a volume cluster plus fair value gap marking this strong short level. So right now, we just need to wait for the pullback, and if it occurs, then go short from there. Now, the same setup also formed on the British pound, so let's take a look at it. So this is a 30-minute chart of the British pound, and in here we didn't have a downtrend, we had an uptrend, so it is the reversed scenario. And in this uptrend we have a couple of heavy volume zones, but the one that I want to trade is this one because it has a fair value gap here. This green thing that highlights a fair value gap, it's not a huge fair value gap, just a small one, but still it's there, and it adds strength to that volume cluster or to that level. So in this case, this volume cluster and all the other volume clusters also are showing a place where buyers were active when they were pushing the price up. So those places are likely to be defended, right? So as you can see, this volume cluster, there was a reaction to it in here, and this one is spent. We can't really trade it anymore. But the lower one, this one, still good to go. The price hasn't tested this one yet. So if there's a pullback to it, to this level at 1.3301, there's likely to be a reaction, right? Because the buyers from here should defend this heavy volume zone. All right, so that's the same setup as on the US dollar Canadian dollar, right? Only reversed. Now, let me switch over to the US dollar Japanese yen. And in here, we have a different setup. The setup is called rejection setup. By the way, this is a 30-minute chart of the Japanese yen. All those charts are 30-minute charts, my favorite time frame. So for the rejection setup, you need to see a sharp rejection like this one. By rejection, I mean that the price was going aggressively downwards, then suddenly turned and completely changed its direction and went upwards, right? So this is rejection. That's the first thing that you need to see. Second thing is that there needs to be a significant volume zone within the rejection. So if you look into it with a flexible volume profile, then it shows this significant volume bump within this rejection, right? This significant volume bump represents a place where buyers were active as they started to jump in, and as the sellers were selling, the buyers started to jump in here, and after that they reversed the price. So this is not the most important place on the chart, the place where the price turned, but this is the most important place in the chart. I mean in the rejection at least, because this is where the volumes were traded. This is where the buyers jumped in, right? So we have a rejection, we have a significant volume cluster, and also we have a fair value gap highlighted in green, right? It begins in here, our level is a little bit lower, but it doesn't really matter, that it's just a couple of pips away. The level is 154.62, right? So in this case, the fair value gap is showing the aggression of the buyers who rejected the lower prices, right? Nice little addition to that volume cluster, and truth be told, I tend to trade those rejections only when I see a fair value gap in it. The success rate is simply better this way. Anyways, right now what we need to see is a pullback to that level, and if that pullback occurs, then it is a long from there, because chances are that the buyers from here will want to defend this place again. They become active again and push the price upwards from this place. All right. Now, if you guys are interested in learning more about my volume profile strategy and getting your hands on my custom-made indicators, then head over to my website. This is it, traderdale.com, and if you click trading course and tools, then on this page you can browse my trading education and indicators. Now, before I wrap the video up, I'd like to announce a winner of a contest we had last time. The prize of the contest were my custom-made volume profile and VWAP indicators for TradingView platform, and right now on your screen you see the name of the person who won in the contest. So congratulations to the winner, and what I'll do next is I'll do another contest for the next week. The only thing that you need to do to participate in this contest is leave a comment below this video, which I'll publish on YouTube, and next week I'll randomly pick one person to win this set of custom-made indicators. So that's about that. Thanks for watching the video, and I'll be looking forward to seeing you next time, and until then, happy trading!